it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right if all of the votes, I count the votes all crazy. No surprise. I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know if any of you are surprised that in some of these tight races, we may or may not actually get results tonight. In some of these tight races, some races, there may be some clear-cut winners. It definitely depends on what we're talking about. But we're going to get started.
On Fire TV is a streaming network for a generation on the move. Visit onfiretv.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
Let's talk about this governor's race. More than a dozen candidates are facing off in a highly competitive Democratic and Republican primary for the nomination to become Maryland's next governor. Right? This post is being vacated, thankfully, by term-limited Governor Larry Hogan. I am so glad to see Larry Hogan go. Whoa, gosh, I'm happy to see that happen. Democrats have lost the governor's mansion more times than we have won in the past 2 decades. Republicans face a heated battle between the Hogan-endorsed candidate and the Trump-endorsed candidate on the Republican side. Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on tonight. Of course. The Democratic primary, an estimated 22% of the vote has been counted. 22% of the vote has been counted. Oh, I see Trump supporters in the building. Okay, so Trump 2024. You really think he's going to run? You say Trump 2024. I'm looking at Instagram. Somebody's saying that in the comment section. Here's the problem with Trump 2024. Trump's going to get less votes in 2024 than he got in 2020. So what are you going to do about that? He lost in 2020. He's going to get less votes. And you may say, why do you think that he's going to get less votes? Oh, it's very easy. It's very easy to make that determination. He's turned off more people. Since then. So less folks are going to vote for him. All right. He turned off the white women in the suburbs. He's turned those ladies off. And when he announces that he's running, and I believe that he will, when he announces that he's running, talking about Donald Trump, he's going to start saying more obnoxious things. That's what he's going to do. And mainstream media is going to start covering him more. And it's going to be more, Democrats want him to run because Donald Trump is like, the only thing he cares about is himself. He will destroy the Republican Party. And Donald Trump running is actually good for Democrats. He's very divisive. You have a much better chance with DeSantis or Youngkin running than you do Trump. Trump runs, Republicans are going to lose. And that might be the best. That might be for the best. You may Dominic in here, of course. We're talking about this. 23% of the vote in on the Democratic side. Wes Moore has a healthy lead. Strike Gold. I'm going to come back to you 1 second. Wes Moore has a healthy lead with about 64,792 votes. Clearly ahead, Wes Moore. Tom Perez is his closest, 44,000. So in a distant third, Peter Franchot. Many favored Franchot. Now, this race is far from over with only 23% of the vote in. Ironically, Rashawn Baker, who is not even in the race anymore, is in fourth place with 4% of the vote. So your top three, who we've often talked about being the top three, Wes Moore, Tom Perez, Peter Franchot, Westmore is in the lead with 23% of the vote. On the Republican side, in the governor's race, an estimated 32% of the vote has been counted. Dan Cox is the Trump endorsed candidate here in Maryland, and he has about 55% of a 55% lead right now, 56,590 votes. Kelly Schultz, the Republican moderate, she was, I think she was favored to win. It's not over yet, but she has about 40%, and they have 33% of the votes counted in that race. So I'm gonna get back to Instagram. So he said, do you think the country is better off with or without him? Do I think this country is better off without Donald Trump? Yes. Okay, yes. So here's the facts. Okay, these are the facts. Coronavirus, the pandemic, and the resulting economic backlash would have happened no matter who was the president. And Donald Trump would have been in charge of it, or the current president. The recession, or not recession, but the economic downturn, the inflation that we're facing right now, all of this would have still been happening. This is a result. The supply chain disasters, all of that stuff would still be happening if Trump was the president. So some of Trump's supporters seem to magically think that Trump would have been in office and voila, all of the effects of coronavirus would have been gone. All the supply chain, voila, Donald Trump would have just, pushed his orange hair to the side and voila, it would have been all of a sudden money just falling out the sky for everybody. No, it wouldn't have been like that. Okay, it would not have been like that. So, but here's the thing. If Donald Trump runs, that is going to be good because he's not going to win. Okay, he's not going to get all the votes. And if he tries some of that shady stuff like he did last time to steal it, to try to trick folks or to storm the Capitol, it's just going to expose his just who he is. And then maybe some of you Trump supporters might see then who he is, but he doesn't really want to run. He wants to make money and continue to be a bandit. And he makes more money not being president than president. So how's it going, Tiffany? Tiffany, so yes, COVID-19 was still happening when Trump was president. Yes, Trump, it happened while Trump was president. But it would have happened if Hillary had been president. It wasn't Trump that brought about COVID, just like the effects of COVID was not brought on by Biden. Biden and Trump both need to go somewhere far away. Neither one of them need to be the president. They are too old, too damn old. I could only hope a strong Republican candidate runs. Yeah, that's what you need. Here's what I would love to see. I would love to see a strong Republican candidate, a strong Democratic candidate, and a strong independent candidate. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. In the U.S. Senate here in Maryland, Chris Van Hollen faces Michelle Smith in the Democratic primary. He is favored to win that. But he's held his seat since 2017, and 10 Republicans are trying to get their party's nomination. 10 Republicans for the U.S. Senate. I'm glad that you agree, Strike Gold. I'm glad that you agree because our country we need strong leadership, and it's not even about, for me, it's not even about Democrat or Republican. It's about the best person for the job. It's about the best person for the job, not somebody that's trying to come in there and a lot of these problems that we have, and they'll say Senate doesn't work or can't get nothing passed in the House. That's because we have these older politicians that are in there holding up stuff. We need some younger politicians, younger Democrats, younger Republicans, younger independents. Clear up some of this gridlock. We got these old, stubborn, politicians in there, and that's what's holding things back. That's what's holding things back. Hopefully, we get some turn. We need some turnover here. We definitely. The president has term limits. Why don't they have term limits in Congress? You know why? Because the congressmen are the ones voting on the term limits, and so they won't vote on term limits for themselves. But they need to go. It needs to go. Term limits, right? After your term limit, we ain't got to worry about the age part. You just make it term limited, and then that will, filter all that foolishness out of there. So Chris Van Hollen is putting the smash on Michelle Smith, and it's only 26% of the votes being counted right now. But the incumbent is running a demo on a challenger. No surprise there. For Attorney General, wait. Tiffany, did you say you like Kanye? You like Kanye for what? Tiffany says that she likes Kanye. Maybe something in my glasses. What do you mean you like Kanye? Kanye can't even manage his household. How could Kanye manage the country? Okay, Tiffany's just joking. Okay, maybe Tiffany's just playing. All right. So we talked about Attorney General. We talked about the governor's race, and what? Tiffany, what are you saying? Tiffany, are you trying to make me laugh? Tiffany's trying to make me laugh. All right. So here's the thing in Maryland. Polls closed at 8 p.m. Eastern here in the great state of Maryland. Results in some races may take days. There are close contests in the primaries for governor and in a few of the House races. But a rule about when mail-in ballots can be counted is likely to delay the race. Thank you, Tiffany. Oh my goodness. And that made me laugh. And it was very funny jokes. Tiffany said she was just joking about the Kanye thing. Don't think that she was serious about that. As we're looking back at the top race in Maryland, which is the governor's race, and just getting a refresh, 29% has been reported of the vote in this governor's race. And on the Democratic side, Wes Moore clearly ahead with 37% of the vote. Tom Perez with 26%. On the Republican side, Dan Cox, surprisingly, 56%. Kelly Schultz, 41%. Dan Cox is the Republican that is backed by Donald Trump. And in a very foolish strategy, Democrats have been promoting the Trump candidates. Now, so they've been doing it, not like vote for such and such, but kind of bringing highlight to the Trump candidate in hopes of facing the Trump candidate. Now, in some instances, this backfires. So I don't know why they would do that. Doesn't make sense to me, but that is exactly what they're doing. They did not want to face the moderate, the Larry Hogan-backed Kelly Schultz. As I've listened to some of her speeches, I've seen her speak live, and she sounds like a regular mom and a grandmom, and she would appeal to some Democrats the way she talks. Dan Cox, on the other hand, is a diehard, Trump, stop the steal kind of guy. And here in Maryland, I don't know how well that would go. So Democrats have made this gamble that they want to try to counter promote the crazy candidate, the super right wing candidate, promote him in hopes that Republicans will vote for him, and then they're making this political calculation that is who they would face in the general election. So Wes Moore has not won this thing yet. but he's looking pretty good right now. If I am in the Westmore headquarters right now, we're cool, but I wouldn't be. It's not time to celebrate by no means. Tom Perez or Peter Franchot could still come and win this thing. Of course, your man Dominic in here on fire-tv.com. We are talking about elections here in Maryland. And this is gonna be a long night. this is going to be a long night because here's the thing. The votes are coming in super slow. Super slow. Let's talk about another race that is very watched. Another very watched race here in Baltimore. The state's attorney. Now, 18% of the reporting has been done in the state's attorney's race, and of course, on that we have Ivan Bates and Thuroo Vignarajah challenging the incumbent Marilyn Mosby. So with just 18% of the vote in, the Fox 45 endorsed Thuroo Vignarajah is in last place with 27% of the vote. But he is gaining on the politician, the attorney that's in second place. Surprisingly, it is the incumbent Marilyn Mosby with just over 29%. He has about 5,300 votes in right now. Ivan Bates currently is in the lead with 43%, 7,806 votes. So Ivan Bates, as it stands right now, with 18% in the lead. But this is far from over. This is far from over, and this is not going right now in the direction that I predicted. Ironically, it's going to be a long night, though. It's going to be a long night. We may not know the winner of some of these races, as I have pointed out. We may not know the winner of some of these races because of the way the tabulations are done. It's really weird. It's really weird. Jumping back to the governor's race, Westmore picking up more votes, starting to hit his stride. He has a comfortable lead right now, 37%, but it is just under 28% of the vote in. Looking at some of these other races, Attorney General, something that we have been interested in. Small field, Anthony Brown and Katie O'Malley. Katie O'Malley there on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, that is, here's the thing, right? Katie O'Malley, former, retired judge, Anthony Brown, who has had a very storied history here in Maryland. Don't know how that one goes. For the comptroller, you had two Democrats in there, Timothy Adams, Brooke Learman, and Brooke it's only 21% in, but Brooke is handily in the lead. A lot of things going on. The 2022 primary, the governor's field, very crowded. Very, very, very crowded. Rashawn Baker in fourth place suspended his campaign in early June. Now, you may say that others should have done the same thing. And, we might have even more of an idea as who the Democrats were going to have as their nominee. Polls are showing tight races in both parties right now. Both parties, tight race. We talked about Katie O'Malley, the former Baltimore judge, the former Maryland First Lady, running for the Democratic nomination to an office that will be opening with the retirement of Attorney General Frosh. She is running against Anthony Brown. We all know Anthony Brown, as I said. He was a lieutenant governor during Martin O'Malley's administration. And what's so ironic about this is he was the lieutenant governor that was or is her husband. How weird is that? How weird is that? They couldn't work this out. They couldn't figure this out. Anyway, on the GOP side, former prosecutor Jim Shalek is running. And so this is going to be an interesting race. Not sure where it goes just yet. And as I said, in some of these close races, we may not know for a few days who is the winner. Now, the Democratic primary, who wins that, will be a heavy favorite in the general election. Maryland has not had a Republican attorney general in nearly 70 years. Nearly 70 years. So let's do some refreshing over here. Let's do some refreshing and see, have we had any changes? So we're talking about comptroller. A lot of we got so many interesting races to look at here in Maryland. Comptroller Brooke Learman is a state delegate from Baltimore, seeking the Democratic nomination to be the state's tax collector. I've had a chance to see her several times. She's running against Tim Adams, who is the mayor of Bowie. Republican Barry Glassman, who is the Harford County executive and a former state senator, is running unopposed for the GOP nomination. Guess who wins that? He wins that, right? In addition to being the state's tax collector, the comptroller is one of 3 voting members on the state's powerful Board of Public Works, alongside the governor and the treasurer. Many people don't know that. Just tuning in, your man Dominic K in here. We are talking about election night, primary election night here in Maryland. A lot of things due to the many different ways that folks can vote this year, which included early voting and mail-in ballots. The vote counting process is more complicated and is likely to take longer than what people are used to. There's also a question of election judges and the people who help staff the polls on election day. Many jurisdictions in the state were short-staffed, didn't have the number of folks that they needed, and that caused problems. For the 8-day period, which ended last Thursday, the State Board of Elections reported more than 172,000 people voted early. Now, before you get excited, that number represented a little bit more than 4.5% of the state's eligible voters. A lot of people didn't vote, at least not early. Early voting ballots are being counted with results that are going to be released after polls closed. So polls closed at 8 p.m. and we're here. We're trying to run down some of these races. We're trying to see who is going to. Yes, Bree, the bow ties is in full effect. Yeah, so a lot of races. And here's the thing. We have so many races, but the way the votes are being counted. Oh, yes. Hey, TJ. What up, TJ Smith? TJ, is this race going the way that you wanted it to go? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. TJ, I need to send you a link. I need to have you hop. Are you out at a party, TJ, or are you somewhere where you can hop on at some time tonight? You might be at a viewing party. Yes, exactly. Is what you thought. Well, listen, I did not want the Democrats to do what they did, and you called it. I thought that it was a sure win that Schultz was going to be the candidate, but it looks like Dan Cox, if things continue the way that they're going, is going to be the Republican nominee. And I think that can backfire against Democrats. Okay. All right. Let me know. Yeah, definitely let me know. Yeah, you said it. You called it. TJ Smith said that Dan Cox, I needed to worry about Dan Cox. And I had all but dismissed him. Dan Cox, it is. No surprises for me. Okay. All right. What about the what about the Baltimore State's attorney's race, the way that that's panning out right now? I know it's still early. Any surprises right there for you? Surprises for me. The way, if things pan out the way that they are, I'm surprised. All right, so no surprise. Okay, TJ said no surprises for him. Yep, yeah, yeah, you kind of called this. You kind of called this, but it's still an early night. It's still an early night. I might get one of my predictions might come true. One of my predictions might come true. I don't know. I think in the governor's race, we obviously had the top three, picked out, and it is pretty much panning out the way some thought, although I thought that Francho would be a little bit higher up than he is right now, but it's still early. It is still early, but if things continue the way they are, Wes Moore is going to run home with this. But it's way too soon for them to be celebrating and popping champagne in the Wes Moore camp. Way too soon for that. Now, we were talking about that matchup. If the matchup is Dan Cox and Wes Moore, are we concerned as Democrats? Are we concerned as independents? We do not need a Governor Dan Cox. Oh my goodness! It might be time for me to change my license and go back to Georgia and call it a 4 years. Oh man, we're talking about some election results here in Maryland. Of course, a lot of questions because obviously the voting. The voting counting. It's a tricky thing, and all states, they got their own way of doing things, right? All states have their own way of doing things. We have a crowded field of candidates in the governor's race. One of the races that I'm really, really focused on, who is going to be the next governor of Maryland. The only thing we know for sure right now is it's not going to be Larry Hogan. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now, understand this. It could take days or even longer to determine the 2022 primary winners in some of these races. Not all of them, but some of them. Yep. Now, governor, lieutenant governor, comptroller, attorney general, U.S. Senate, U.S. House, Maryland State Senate, Maryland House of Delegates, the Baltimore City State's Attorney, some county executive races. We got a lot of things to get into. So as it looks right now, let's do some refreshing here, see if we can get some of this vote in. Hang on. We're looking at races statewide. But as I'm looking at things, Wes Moore, Democrat, Tom Perez are in, I don't want to say a tight race because it's not tight right now. This is loosey-goosey right here. Peter Francho is in a distant third. Many people had this going the other way. Now, just over 30% of the vote in right now, 31% reported right now. So it is still an early night. But if you are Dan Cox, you might be feeling pretty good right now. 46% of the vote in, Dan Cox is in a comfortable first place over the Larry Hogan endorsed, Larry Hogan backed. She used to be in Larry Hogan's cabinet, Kelly Schultz. Sweet Tea, where you at? Sweet Tea on the check-in on Instagram. I need you on the screen, young lady. Wait, what? Sweet Tea, you did not text me back. I text you the link. Oh my goodness. Sweet Tea is out of control. Sweet Tea is out of control. All right, I'm waiting to see what she says about that. All right, we talked about Attorney General Anthony Brown comfortably in the lead, but it's only 28% reporting. So that's still too close to call, too early to call. Maryland's Attorney General on the Republican side, just under 30%, still way too early to call. Maryland Comptroller, only 22% in, way too early to call. It has been over almost 2.5 hours since polls closed, and we don't have or know any winners. Sweet Tea, do you work tomorrow? Do you work Thursday? Can we make this happen? Or do you want to hop on tonight? Let me know what to do. You call it. You call it. Tell me what to do. All right, so we are running some of this stuff down. Maryland Comptroller, Brooke Learman, Tim Adams, the mayor of Bowie, and Brooke Learman, state delegate from here in Baltimore. They want to be the tax collector. Yes, you work tomorrow. Okay. All right, so you work tomorrow. You work Thursday. When are you off again? If I screw, let me see. Where's my phone? Let me grab my phone right now, Sweet Tea. Grab my phone and let me see. Oh no. Okay. You're right. It's in the draft. I didn't send it. It's right here. It's in the draft. It's in the draft. All right. Yeah, that I screwed that up. Oh, let's go tonight. Okay, perfect. So let's go tonight. All right. So right now it is 10:30 on the East Coast. How about 11 Eastern, 10 Texas, 10 Texas time? So 11 p.m. Can we do that? Can we do 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central time tonight for the His and Her show? All right, let me know. All right, so because here's the problem. When you done, check. When you done, okay, sure, perfect. All right, 11 p.m. All right, so in 30 minutes. All right, here's the problem. We have so many races 2.5 hours after polls close in little old Maryland, and we don't have winners. Not even close. So maybe in a couple days, I can hop on a show with TJ Smith and we might just be finding out some winners. That's crazy. That is crazy. Welcome to the new, just like a new thing. New thing. So we're trying to look at some of these results. Now, with just 36% of the vote in, Wes Moore in a considerable lead. He is creeping up on 98,000 votes. The closest challenger to Wes Moore currently, Tom Perez. And he is way back in the Wayback Machine. Do you know where the Wayback Machine is? Like the Wayback Machine, 67,000 votes. Yeah, Wes Moore is running a demo right now. Running a demo, and I am checking multiple screens here, trying to get results from the State Board of Elections. Like, their results are super behind schedule. Like, I don't even know what they are doing over there. All right, so let's bring some stuff here on the screen. All right, so right now, the governor's race, many people are looking at the governor's race. Many people, I mean, it is the top job in the state. Top job in the state. Wes Moore is, as I said, looking pretty good. 36% of the vote counted. Tom Perez, 25%. Peter Francho, 20%. Return Baker. Look at this. Return Baker leading the next tier of candidates, and he has been out of the race. He's been out of the race in a very distant single digits. This is per some of the Goucher polls. Doug Gansler in a distant fifth, 3%. Look at that. Amazing. The other story of the night, the Republican candidate, the Trump-endorsed Dan Cox, has a very comfortable lead as it stands right now over the Kelly Schultz, right? The Hogan endorsed one. The Republicans below her, nothing of note with regards to, they're not going to be a problem. They're not going to be a problem at all. A lot of things. So much. We know so much, yet we know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah, we feel like Jon Snow.
Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.
All right, let me see if I can. Let's do this. I'm going to get TJ Smith on here. And I'm going to get TJ Smith on here in a minute. Hey, how's it going? Yep. Yeah, you called it.